Guten Tag, welcome to episode 146 of Regen Rovers. In today's episode, we're going to be taken on by Leverkusen in the second knockout round of the Europa League. It's a long old competition is the Europa League because it's got an extra knockout round compared to the Champions League. So it really does extend your season and pack the games in. It's really tough. It's such a tough season when you've got the Europa League and when you progress past the group stage in particular. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be playing away from home in Germany in the first match. We've then got Preston at home in the Premier League and then at home against Bayer Leverkusen. Lots of games on TV, once again 4 in a row. Since you last left me then, of course, we beat Partizan 1-0 in aggregate to get through to this stage. We've had 3 wins and one of them absolutely miraculous, but I'll show you the Leicester game to start with. Our 2 wingers gave us all 3 points. Tisakovic crossed it in and Christian at the back post, capitalising on some sort of terrible defending. They just let it go through really to him, and then Tisakovic scored. Let's have a look at the winning goal. They did equalise, but it's a fantastic strike. It actually finished 3rd in goal of the month as well. Really good goal from Tisakovic. He's had a good season since coming back to the club. He's now got 6 goals and 7 assists in all competitions. Good average rating, particularly good in the Europa League this year as well. Now this win against Spurs is unbelievable. I don't know what our record is against them. This might be our first ever win actually. It is. This was our first ever win against Spurs. We'd drawn against them once before, but all the other games, I mean last year, was it last year? A couple years ago, 7-2 defeat against Spurs. We've lost 4-0 a couple times. It's been awful. We've failed to score in the 3 previous games as well. But it was just incredible. I can't believe what happened. It's only their 2nd defeat of the season. Alan Stewart opened pre-seasons with a penalty. Navarrete then managed to score and make it 2-0. Good stuff from Tisakovic. Look at this run. Kept going. It fell to Navarrete. Edge of the box. Smashed it in with brilliant power. Will Loader then scored from a corner. Tarasenko, Rios headed it on and Loader nodded it in for his first goal of the season. And then we scored a 4th from a brilliant counter-attack from a Spurs corner. Quite unbelievable. Now, Alan Stewart played in this game instead of Mark Ball, and I think he's going to have to be the main man up front alongside Navarrete because he's got 15 goals this season, mainly off the bench. Yes, quite a few of those goals in the Hampshire Senior Cup, but Mark Ball has also scored in the Hampshire Senior Cup, so he's joint 2nd top goal scorer with Mark Ball. It's freezing. It's getting slower this as we progress through. I'll just show you the top goal scorers. So Navarrete, top goal scorer this season, 19 goals, really good average rating. Alan Stewart, 15. Now, he has scored 6 of them in the Hampshire Senior Cup, so we have to consider that. But remember, he started 15, come off the bench 11 times, 6 in the Premier League in 6 starts and 8 sub appearances, 3 in the FA Cup in 3 appearances. He hasn't scored in the Europa League, interestingly, but I'm going to give him a game today against Bayer Leverkusen. He's a good striker. He's worth a lot of money. He's quality. Mark Ball, on the other hand, has got 8 in the Premier League, but that is in 20 starts and 3 sub appearances. 6 assists, though. He really does contribute. So, yeah, hat-trick in the Hampshire Senior Cup, 2 in the FA Cup, 2 in the Europa League. It's between those 2 for the other spot. Duranja hasn't really impressed me. He's got 5 goals this season, but I was hoping for more from him in the appearances he has made. Navarrete is the clear star, though. 15 goals in the Premier League, 4 in the Europa League. None in the FA Cup, but he's only come off the bench twice. He's just so good. We did actually beat Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, and Mark Ball did score twice, and he got an assist for Alan Stewart coming off the bench to get a goal. Let's have a look at the 3 goals. So Mark Ball's still scoring. Had a bit of a dry patch, I suppose. But yeah, he knows where the back of the net is, and against slightly weaker opposition in Nottingham Forest, he's managed to get a couple goals. They were actually really good, Nottingham Forest. I put out a 2nd string team, basically, and we still managed to win. We created chances. They did have more shots, but we created 4 clear-cut chances and deadly in front of goal, and I suppose that was the difference in the end. Duranja was involved in the second one, but it was Christian's cross that caused all sorts of problems, and Mark Ball got his 2nd of the game. But his best bit of play was really the assist for Stewart. Let's just skip all the way to the goal. It was a beautiful assist Have a look at this. Charlery came off the bench. He was involved. Christian played as well today, the Brazilian right winger. They all played fairly well, I would say. Nyanja as well, a Ugandan midfield. But what a pass from Mark Ball that is. A reverse little sort of no-look through ball chipped over the defender for Stewart. Fantastic assist from Mark Ball. He just pulls things out of the bag sometimes. Anyway, first game of today. I need to decide the team. I think I've already decided it, actually. What am I talking about? They are the favourites. We're playing in our away kit. Thought I'd match today. And yeah, I'm going with this. So Stewart and Navarrete up front. Clark, Vandenbroek, Tarasenko and Tasakovic in midfield. Matt Smith, Loda, Rios and Henriquez. With Adrian Smith in goal. A bench of Simpson, Chari and Nyanja, Kuz, Christian, Nunez and Mark Ball. Here we go then. 4-4-2 from Bayer Leverkusen. They do actually have a real life player up front. He's their captain. He's American. Josh Sargent. Looks pretty good still. Whitman alongside him. A German under 20. Well, he's picked up under 21 caps in the past. He's got finishing ability. I suppose he's similar to Mark Ball in that sense. Their most creative player assist-wise this season is this chap in central midfield. But their best performing player this season is an Italian right winger. They don't have sort of full internationals apart from the American. Oh, this guy has 19 caps for Germany, but he's 30, sorry. He's a German. So they do have sub-German internationals in there, and obviously the American chap up front. Gone with the away tactic. That's worked, that team talk. Got to fancy our chances. We beat Spurs, top of the table Spurs, only their second defeat of the season, and we thrashed them 4-1. I just don't understand how that happened. It's a miracle result. Because I've almost written off the games previously. I think we'd lost the previous games 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, something like that. We weren't in the game at all. We were lucky only to concede 3 or 2. And I just didn't expect anything from that game. Unfortunately, Bayer Leverkusen have opened the scoring with the first shot on target of the game. The Italian on the right-hand side has scored. This is tough. This is the hardest game in the Europa League we've had so far, I think. Valencia didn't put up any of a fight. Red Star and Steaua Bucharest didn't really either. Partizan were a little bit tough because we struggled, didn't we? But we got through in the end. But Stewart's equalised. He's moved ahead of Mark Ball. 16th goal of the season. A fantastic cross from our Blackburn loanee Matt Smith. It's a beautiful ball in. Stewart, that's why he's such a good striker, because he's good at everything. He's an all-round forward. He's good in the air. He's good. He's fairly pacey. He's strong. He's good at finishing. He can dribble. I think we've underestimated him a bit. I think some of you guys have as well. He's scored goals for us every single season. Here's Vandenbroek on a yellow card. We've got the away goal as well, so that's important. Tarasenko into Navarrete. Vandenbroek, the Belgian wonder kid. Back to Stewart. Into Navarrete. Decent effort just over the bar in the pouring rain in Germany. 38 minutes on the clock. Here's Vandenbroek again. Into Stewart. Does really well. Ooh, with his left foot just puts it wide of the goal. Decent effort. He's dangerous. He causes problems. Good interception there. And Stewart now on the ball again. He's been heavily involved. Navarrete running at the defence. Plays it back to Tasakovic. Picked up a couple yellow cards here. Tarasenko. Vandenbroek. What's he going to do? Is he going to have a shot? He does! Decent effort straight into the hands of the keeper, but he got it on target. We're testing them, that's for sure, and we've been the better team, and they scored with their only shot of the game, which is a bit unfortunate, really. But that's the way football is sometimes. Rios heads that way to Tarasenko. Great ball out wide to Clark. Clark crosses it in. Stewart again! Great finish at the near post. Clark with the assist. Stewart has come in and scored his first 2 goals in the Europa League. And bit of a masterstroke, I think. I've put faith in him, and he's repaid me. Mark Ball maybe will be a bit more of a super sub for the rest of the season. Great finish. Although he loves the big games, doesn't he, Mark Ball? I kind of feel like if we got to the final, Mark Ball should start, because he's just such an important games expert. That must be his hidden attribute. Maybe at the end of the season, maybe at some point, I'll get the editor out and have a look at his hidden attributes. I don't want to do it yet. Maybe at the end of the series, if he has retired, I can go back to an old save file and just have a look at what his important games attribute was, because I am interested. I don't want to ruin the magic by getting the editor out at this stage. It's a pure save at the moment. Brilliant start to this second I'm getting muddled up. Second knockout round game thing. You know what I mean. Good first quarter of our two legs, I suppose. I'm struggling to get the words out here. I'm excited. That's why we might be going through to the quarter final. We've still got a whole 90 minutes plus 25 minutes in this game. Van den Broek's getting sent off, and that might ruin everything. What was it for? I don't even know. An off the ball incident? I'm not sure. Navarrette's going to come off then, I suppose, for Nyanja. I'll leave Alan Stewart up front because he's causing problems. He's on a hat-trick. But we'll bring Nyanja on. We'll go defensive and I think we just have to try and hang on for this one. Early crosses into Alan Stewart. Let him cause damage, I suppose. Any changes? Tasakovic is on a yellow, but Nunez isn't match sharp. And I think Tasakovic is better defensively. But he's on a yellow, so I don't want to pick up another red. What was it for? Let's have a look at it again. He's literally done nothing. What has he done? I don't understand. What has he done? He's standing there. He's done absolutely nothing. That is the most bizarre card, the most bizarre incident ever. He's literally done nothing. What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. That is a dreadful decision from the ref. I'm going to have to challenge that if I'm allowed to. I'm actually going to bring Kruse on the left, play him as a defensive winger. I might do the same with Clark as well. Just hang on for this one. The two defensive wingers. That seems to have worked. We've got 2 away goals. We've won this game 2-1, despite the bizarre red card for Van den Broek. I'm really confused. What was that all about? Makes absolutely no sense. We'll see what the media say about it, I suppose, because it could be that something's happened, but the game's just not shown it. It's not represented it in the 3D engine, possibly. I don't know, but that is just bizarre. Maybe he said something to the ref, or I don't know. Let's have a look at this then. Red card for a bad tackle. What bad tackle? I'm not allowed to. I'm not doing any action because he doesn't deserve an action. There's no bad tackle. He's not done anything. He's not touched anyone. Apparently he was blocked, but he didn't touch him. How has he blocked someone if he's not touched him? How? What? No. That is the worst thing ever. Not the worst thing ever. Genocide's a lot worse. I've made quite a few changes for this game against Preston. In fact, only Van den Broek and Smith keep their places. Everyone that started against Bayer Leverkusen, they're a bit tired. Van den Broek's going to play because he can't play in midweek because of his suspension. Smith, Savic, Matteo, Gale and Kuz is the back 5. It's still a pretty strong back 5, I think. I mean, Gale is actually a very good centre-back. Matteo, obviously leaving the club in the summer. He's okay. He's an okay backup. Savic has never really impressed me on the right-hand side. He's just not been good enough since joining the club. Christian, Van den Broek, Flanagan and Nunez in the midfield with Deranja and Mark Ball up front. Club captain is playing. I forgot to look at the Preston team. They're actually in the relegation zone, so not having a great season. But we are basically putting out a second-string team against them. We're going to go with the attacking home tactic. It's not attacking. The home tactic because we're at home. Let's just get through this and get to the Bayer Leverkusen game. That's the one you want to see. But hopefully we can keep our impressive league form going. At the moment, we are qualifying. We're in 6th place, so we should be qualifying for Europe, depending on how the cup competitions pan out, I suppose. But in all likelihood, we should qualify for Europe if we finish 6th. There's Kuz into Deranja, hoping that he can impress me today. Deranja feeds it out wide to Christian, who runs at the defence, has a long-range effort, curled it. It was not quite hard enough to beat Sanchez in goal. 10 minutes in, Savic gives the ball away from a throw-in. I hate when that happens, and Carlos Cesar is through and scores. Terrible from Savic. Why are you giving the ball away from a throw-in? It's just absolutely awful. Free kick, Nunez to take it, crosses it in, and Mark Gale scores his first goal, possibly for the club. Yeah, it is. It's his first ever goal. Just heads in a Nunez free kick. Nunez hasn't really done much this season. He's had a couple of injury problems. He's not match fit at the moment because he hasn't played for a while, even though I've told him to play for the under-23s and they just haven't played him. Tusakovic has kept him out the team. That's the main reason, though, I suppose. But that was a good cross, good free kick, and it's 1-1. We've relied on our centre-back scoring quite a few goals this season. I mean, Rios is 7, I think. So he must be like 4th or 5th top scorer this year. Probably is 4th top goal scorer behind the 3 main strikers, actually. He's got more than Duranja. Cautious. Far from pleased. Let's fired them up. Savic is dread. I'm bringing Charlo on at right back. I trust him more at right back than Savic. Need to get rid of Savic. I think he might still have 1 year on his contract. If not, if it is running out in the summer, then I'll just let him go. Disappointed me. Thought he was going to be my main right back, but Regen Rovers has been the better player in that position, that's for sure. Free kick. Nunez to take it again. 58 minutes on the clock. Oh, Mark Ball, 16th goal of the season. It just went through everyone, and Mark Ball in the right place. That's what he's all about. Finishing from close range, getting in the right positions, off the ball, positioning brilliantly, brilliant, and left-footed volley in the end. Smashes it past the keeper. Good stuff. Do we keep it on attacking? Let's see what this highlight brings us. It's headed on. Here's Mark Gale into Kuz, tripping over Nunez. Kuz running with the ball. That is poor. Kuz, what are you doing giving the ball away like that? I know I've told us to run at the defence, but that's just stupid. Van den Broek, we've got Charlery overlapping, but Christian feeds it through to Duranja. Gets his head on it, but there's no one there to run onto it. Matteo can't. I thought he was going to have that covered, but no, he didn't anticipate it good enough. Kuz clears it long up the pitch, looking for Mark Ball. Christian, brilliant tackle. But I sense a goal here because it's such a long highlight. And I imagine it's probably going to be for Preston here with Peters. Oh, what was that defending, Gale? You just let him have the shot. That is awful. We're keeping it on attacking. We've relied on 2 set pieces today. Our defending has been non-existent. I just need to look at this again. Peters runs at our defence. Gale what is that? Didn't have any midfield cover, I suppose. Flanagan's been battered. What's happened to him? We're going to bring on the Anja. He'll probably start in midweek instead of Van den Broek. He's suspended, of course. Well, Duranja's let me down again. He's been poor. I'm bringing on Navarrete. I think I might push the wingers forward as well. Give that a go. We might concede. We might lose. But I want to win. And to win, you have to take gambles, don't you? At the moment, though, it's not happening for us. We'll go a bit more direct. It's just not quite worked out for us today, has it? I think we'll just pump it long up the pitch. Go for that old technique. I mean, a draw's okay with a second string 11, I suppose, on the whole. Had a few first team players in there, but disappointing. We need to be beating relegation candidates, don't we? But with Europe being such a distraction, I suppose it's okay. I'll say it wasn't good enough, though. So after 29 games of the season, we actually have a game in hand over some of the teams, probably because of our European adventures. We're on 48 points. We're just ahead of Wolves and goal difference. We do have that game in hand, though. 3 ahead of Chelsea in 8th. It's quite tight. You know, it could go down to the wire. It probably will go down to the wire this season. We've got Liverpool next and Chelsea in the league. So 2 tough games, but winnable because they're both teams that aren't right at the top. They're not completely dominant, so they are winnable fixtures. This is a big day in the club's history. At home against Bayer Leverkusen. We're selecting the home tactic, of course. And this is the 11 that's going to play. Only one change from the first leg. Nyanja has come in for the suspended Van den Broek. Stewart, can he continue his goal scoring run? I mean, he could possibly finish top goal scorer. 17 goals from him this season. 19 for Navarrete. 16 for Mark Ball on the bench. There's 3 players in it to win it. Win that Golden Boot Award. For the Regen Rovers Golden Boot Award, of course. And there's this number of games. There's hopefully going to be more games than you can see. Because hopefully we're going to go all the way in the Europa League. Possibly an extra game in the Hampshire Senior Cup. There should be a final to play once again this season. We've got Blackburn in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, so hopefully we can beat them and get through to a semi-final. We might have a lot of fixture congestion come the end of the season, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I suppose this is when you need a big squad and strength in depth, and we don't really have that. We do in certain positions, but there are other positions which I'm not exactly happy about. But hopefully in the summer we'll be able to continue to improve the squad. I'm going to go for that. That's worked. Speak to the strikers and just feel like we should be doing more than what my assistant has suggested. I usually trust his judgment. I'm going to press some of their midfielders, really. This is huge. Luton Town Stadium is going to witness, hopefully, an historical night for Regen Rovers. The ultras must be going crazy. Under the floodlights, it's always a good experience, a European night, isn't it? All we need to do is keep a clean sheet and we're through. We've got 2 away goals as well. So if they score 1, if they win 1-0, we're through. It'd be nice if we can score some goals and make things safe. Smith crosses it in. And Rios with his 8th goal of the season. He's deadly. He really is deadly in the air. Matt Smith with another assist. And we're 1-0 up. Nice to have an extra goal cushion. It's a lovely whipped ball from Smith. And Rios just beats his marker in the air and heads into the empty net pretty much. And we've won another corner. Tarasenko crosses it in again. Rios again just heads over this time. He's just winning everything. He doesn't look like the tallest guy in the world, to be honest. But he's got 16 on heading, 14 on jumping reach. It's a good combination. 184 centimetres. I think, what is that? 6 foot? Is that 6 foot? 6'1"? Something like that. I'm 180 centimetres, I think, and that's 5'11". So, yeah, I think he's only 6 foot, just over 6 foot maybe. Centimetre over 6 foot. So he's not a tall centre-back, but he's just deadly in the air. And maybe he's got another opportunity here. Oh, he almost did. It's falling for Loader in the end. Rios causes carnage with a header, and Will Loader with his 2nd goal of the season. 2 goals from corners. We're just causing all sorts of problems to the Bayer Leverkusen defence. It's a great save by the keeper from Rios, but Loader was there to pounce. Our 2 centre-backs, they're just deadly in these scenarios. Brilliant first half. We're 4-1 up on aggregate. Bayer Leverkusen have done nothing. They've had 1 shot. We're surely going through here. I will do an Ask the Manager after this game, by the way, before we end today's episode. I did mean to do it between the 2 matches, but I forgot again. Sorry. I haven't done a Paul's Big Day Out either since Bath, but I don't think I've really played anyone where I can really do a Paul's Big Day Out that's relevant. I know Bath wasn't relevant, but that was because I'd just been to Bath in my life. But I haven't been anywhere since then. But yeah, I've not been to Germany before. I've not been to Preston, so I couldn't do that. Here's Nyanja. Has the shot, decent effort just over the bar. Free kick to Bayer Leverkusen, and that's headed over. Midfield's looking complacent for some reason. I'm going to praise him. That usually works. It's done. It's fired them up. Brilliant stuff. Tarasenko's looking tired and complacent again. I'm going to bring on Flanagan in the middle, and I'm also going to throw on Mark Ball. Mark Ball's going to play on the right. Stewart will drop back to play as a target man on support. Yeah. We'll give that partnership a go up front. It's been a quiet second half, but Bayer Leverkusen, opportunity. They've scored from a corner. Poor marking. We've seen 3 corner goals today. Going to throw Charlo on for the last few minutes. Defensive central midfielder. And there we go. A pretty boring game. 3 corner goals. We win 2-1, but we've gone through 4-2 on aggregate to the quarter-final of the Europa League. Man of the match performance from Rios with a goal and an assist. Very quiet from our attacking players. Nothing really from open play to talk about. But we did the job that we needed to do. And we're through. So then, let's have a look at the other teams. Celtic have gone through. Werder Bremen, Lyon, Inter, Man United have gone through as well. So it could be a very tough quarter-final if we have to take on Man United, for example. Oh, lots of money into the bank after winning that one. Nice stuff. Rios obviously played very well. And the Europa League quarter-final will be here. So that will be the next episode with Watford sandwiched in the middle. As it stands, of course, things could move around. Oh, no. Look at this. This is ridiculous. We're playing West Brom on the Wednesday. This might get rearranged. I hope it does. Ask the Manager then. I'm going to answer 4 questions before we end today's episode. The first is from Joey Boswell, who's asked, of the 2 series of Regen Rovers you've done, which is your favourite? I'm going to say this one because we've gone the distance and it's going to go all the way. I mean, I'm hoping that it will end with a nice nice ending, like winning the Champions League or something like that. Obviously, the first one, that didn't happen. It just fizzled out in the end. However, the first series has my greatest ever moment from Football Manager in general, the Dr. Jones goal that kept us up in that first season. And there were some really iconic moments in that series. There's been some iconic moments in this series, but probably more in the first series. However, this is my favourite because I have taken it further. We've got to the Premier League and we've won the FA Cup. We're doing well in Europe, etc. And hopefully that's going to continue. Second question, Jack24. Have you ever been to Scotland, or more specifically Glasgow? And is your wife's name Ginny or Jenny? It sounds like both to me. Jenny, the second one. Short for Jennifer, so it is Jenny. I have been to Scotland. I've been 3 times, and I have been to Glasgow. I went to Glasgow in 2014 with Jenny for a work thing. I won't say what it was, but it was a work thing. And we stayed in central Glasgow, and I really like central Glasgow. I know maybe it has its bad parts, but the actual central part of Glasgow is lovely. It's beautiful and some really nice historic buildings. I went in the museum. I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a natural history museum type thing. That was great. Loved that. So yeah, it's the actual. I walked around the sort of the river bit, and I really enjoyed my time in Glasgow. I've also been to Scotland 2 other times. Once as a baby, so I can't remember that. But we went to, I can't remember, Fort William possibly. And the second time I ever went to Scotland was when I was 10. I have cousins that live in Scotland. They all grew up in Campbelltown, which you get to Glasgow and you think, oh, it must be nearly there. But you have to go all the way round, and it's like 5 hours or something from Glasgow. So it's a beautiful part of the world, just cut away and quite remote, really. But yeah, some of my family grew up there, and actually some of their friends watch or used to watch my channel, because when I got married, this is a funny story, when I got married, one of my cousins said to their friends, oh, I'm going to a wedding, and I think they just asked who it was, and he said Paul Holden, and they were like, what, the Paul Holden? We watch his YouTube channel, Golden FM, and it was just quite a bizarre story, but that's my connection there. So yeah, I've been to Scotland 3 times. Love it. I'd love to go back soon as well and see more of Scotland, like the Cairngorms and sort of North Scotland area. Third question, David Brown has asked, if you had to choose between them, which player would you re-sign for West Ham tomorrow? Marco Bugas or Florin Raditroy? Can't remember how to pronounce the Romanian chap. Marco Bugas, because he lived in a caravan. The other guy was actually a pretty good player. He was a Romanian international, but Marco Bugas, look into his story. It's pretty hilarious. And lastly today, Stephen Vary has asked, if you could revisit one place that is special to you from your childhood, where would it be and why is it special to you? So I have actually revisited this place quite recently, but it's a place I would happily revisit many times. Southwold in Suffolk. We used to go on holiday there every year, camping with my parents, my sister and my grandparents, pretty much every year from like the age of 5 to 11, I suppose. There are multiple other places that I love and are special to me from my childhood, but in particular Southwold stands out. It's a lovely little seaside town on the Suffolk coast, with a lighthouse. It's got a brewery, it's got lots of camping stuff, it's got some cannons on the hill overlooking the sea, lovely beach with beach huts and a pier. It's a beautiful little town, so I'd highly recommend going there. Southwold in Suffolk. We'll end it there then. I think that ends today's episode, in fact. I'll just quickly leave you with the fixtures. But yeah, thank you for watching today's episode. I think I've got the lighting wrong again. Sometimes I just look a bit ill with the way I did the lighting. It's a bit late now, isn't it? Is that better? Having a bit of sort of orangey light from the head? I don't know. I should probably try and get it done properly, like work out what sort of strength, because I can adjust the light, you see, on this ring light thing I have. I can go really dark, really bright. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Until next time, enjoy FM19. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.